the next part of the tuples section tutorials in Python, we're going to see how we can concatenate two tuples together or connect them. Also, we're going to see the different methods inside different useful methods in tuples. So let's create a new file and call it joining tuples.py, and we can use this tuple, new tuple, and place it inside joining the tuples. Also, we had another tuple inside the loop tuple. So just the same as the list, we can use plus, but we cannot use other methods like extend or insert. So here, new tuple, you have actually two new tuples, so let me call this 2, and union for joining the two lists. You can write new tuple plus new tuple 2, and in the end we can print out, so here it is, print union, and that's it. Actually, this is Python 3 joining tuples .py. So here, as you can see, we have Jack, Sarah, James, Alice, Martin, Brooklyn, New York. All of the names are inside one list. The name of the cities and the name of people. There's also another way for example, this is actually the only way to join the list, but imagine that you want to have two instances of these items inside a tuple. So for example, you want Jack, and then also you want Jack another time also for other names. So repeating tuple, you can name it this way, repeating tuple and new tuple. You can multiply it by 2 and you can print out the result. Print repeating tuple. So let's save this and see what we have here. So as you can see, we have Jack, Sarah, James, Alice, Martin, and then again Jack, Sarah, James, Alice, and Martin. So we have this tuple multiplied by 2, which is a repeating tuple. But imagine we have another tuple. Up to now we've talked about strings, but tuples can also contain numbers, integers, floats, and so as a result we can write 1, 2, 3, again you can write 2, doesn't really matter, 3, 5, 10, 8, 9, 12, and then once you multiply it by 2, you might mix up with multiplying a set of numbers by 2. So this will repeat this tuple for you, and it will not multiply the numbers by 2. So here you should be careful for that. Notice new tuple multiplied by 2. So let's save this one and see what goes on. So actually this is new tuples, new numbers, number tuple, something like that, just another name, number tuple, and here number tuple. Okay, so let's print this out, and as you can see, the numbers are not multiplied by 2, but they are repeated twice, so repeated once. So 1, also 1, 2, also 2. So we have 212. Okay, so up to here we've learned how to connect two tuples together, and also how to repeat a tuple and put it inside another tuple. We want to also test two important methods in the tuples. So notice that the number of methods inside the tuples are less than the list. So one of them is dot index, and as you can remember, inside the list we had this index as well. And for example, we want to see what is the index of 10 in the number tuple. So what is the position of this item inside number tuple? So to do this, to see what happens, I can write number tuple and can write index dot index of 10, and also don't forget to print this out, print, and also close the parentheses. And here, as you can see, it shows 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this one is the fifth one of the tuple, and it also shows 5, which was expected. Also, let's see if it finds the maximum of this number tuple and then finds the index of the maximum of the index of the number tuple. So instead of 10 here, probably we can copy this line here and print out number tuple index maximum of, again, number tuple. Let's see if it has the maximum here for the tuples as well. So here it has, and there are no errors, and it shows that it's the 8th one. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 12, it says that 12 is the maximum number, and it's on the 8th position, position 8 actually, or the 9th position, which is actually true because 12 here, there's no number greater than 12 here in this tuple. So this is just the same as the list. We have found the maximum number. Also, for example, we want to know a certain item, how many times a certain item is repeated. So we can write here, for example, we have 2, which is repeated once, so we have 2 twice, and also we have only 1 3 inside this tuple. So to find that out, we can write print number tuple dot count, and inside of it we can write number tuple, actually not number tuple, we can write the occurrence or the item here, for example 2. And if I run the code, as you can see, it says that there are 2 times we have 2 in number tuple. Also, if here I write 12, save the code and run it, it should show 1, and here, as you can see, we have 1 here. Okay, that's it for tuples. We have tried to cover all of the parts related to tuples, all of the things you should notice. And notice that tuples are very much like the lists, but the members or the items cannot be modified, and so you need to convert it into a list and modify the list and then convert it back to a tuple. It has a number of methods, just the same as the list, but as you saw in the previous tutorials, there are differences between a tuple and a list, and you should be very well aware of that. And you might ask that where should I use a tuple? You should normally use tuples at the times that you don't want other developers to modify the tuple that you have, and by writing it as a tuple, you can tell them that if you want that tuple to change, they should convert it into a list and probably create a new tuple. And this, you're sending the message that this tuple should remain and should not be modified. But when you're using a list, you should be very well aware of the fact that another developer might come along and update or modify that list inside your program, inside your code, and if you don't want it to change, you should write it as a tuple. So also other methods can modify that, but if it's a tuple, it's unmodifiable, and other programmers will understand the purpose of writing it as a tuple.